When we talk about the events surrounding Christmas, we typically go to Matthew, Mark, or Luke. They give us all the details leading up to Christ's birth. However, I want to point your attention to John's Gospel. He talks not about the birth of Christ, but about his essence, his nature. He answers the question, who is this man, Jesus Christ? In the opening verses of John's Gospel is found one of the most crucial confessions of the Christian church, that God has entered into humanity in the man Jesus Christ. John introduces us to Jesus not as a babe in a manger, but as the Word who was from the beginning, who was with God, who is the creator of all things. And then in verse 14, he exclaims this, "The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. We observed his glory, the glory of the one and only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth." Not a baby to be oohed and awed at, not a baby to be cuddled and cared for, but this one who created it all, and later says with all authority, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." Very threatening statement to some, and if it were not for the grace of God, it would be threatening to all of us. Listen to verse 16. "For from his fullness we have all received grace upon grace." Grace is God's kindness, his favor bestowed upon us who do not deserve it and have no way of earning it. Oh, the marvelous grace of God. One of the most favorite places that I like to visit is a place on the ocean at the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's on the east coast of the United States. I love to sit there early in the morning and watch the sun come up over the Atlantic Ocean. That, coupled with the sound of the waves pounding on the beach, they just keep coming and coming, has an exhilarating effect on my soul. Perhaps you've been to the ocean and you've waded out into the water where the waves are breaking, and they just keep coming continuously, wave after wave. Sometimes it's a big wave that almost overtakes you. Other times it's a smaller wave, but it just keeps coming. It's an endless supply. What a picture of the marvelous grace of God. There are times that the grace of God comes in mountainous waves that almost overwhelm us. There are times it's smaller, yet it's still the grace of God in our lives, and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. Paul calls it the surpassing grace of God upon us and exclaims, "Thanks be to God for his inexpressible gift." God's grace, there's enough of it for the entire world. Enough of it for all of those who put saving faith in Jesus Christ. Take a few moments and give God thanks for his marvelous grace upon you. Now, grace upon grace and the peace of Christ to each one of you. Amen.